Every day, every week, more and more workers are feeling the weight of rising costs, stagnant wages, and job uncertainty. Wages just don't stretch as far as they used to. Long hours, they are the new norm, and unfair treatment is never ending. Not to mention job security. Well, I guess we won't mention it because that's a thing of the past. If you're feeling this way, you are not alone. But here's the truth. Despite these challenges, you are so powerful. The idea that you are anything less than powerful is a ploy. It is a game to keep you from discovering your true value, to keep you from knowing it inside where it really matters. Because when you really know the truth, when you know your worth, you'll realize something. You'll realize something that's way more valuable than the obstacles that you face. And that is that it's you. You keep this country running. You are irreplaceable. You are the driving force behind it all. And today we're talking about what's holding workers back and how we can move forward together. Hi, I'm Harlow Reed, employment lawyer, HR consultant, and creator of the HR Insider. Let's face it, we are working just as hard, maybe harder, as we always have, but that paycheck just doesn't go as far as it used to. The rent's up, mortgage rates are high, groceries cost more, gas prices keep rising, but workers persevere through it all, through recessions, inflation, job shifts, and so much more. And it's getting frustrating, or maybe it's been frustrating for you, but I certainly feel that the frustration is growing around the hard work that's put in that doesn't translate to the good, the decent life that we've envisioned for ourselves and our families. And today we are talking about the challenges we're facing and ways that we can overcome them so that all of us can obtain the life we deserve. Let's talk about it. It's no secret that the rich are getting richer, and that's not to say that they don't deserve wealth, but too often it comes at the expense of the many. We all see it. CEOs earning more and more while the average worker earns the same or less, with inflation eating up any extra pay from overtime or raises. Too many people are working just as hard as anyone else, and they still can't afford the basic necessities of life. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to see a fellow worker struggling to buy the most basic necessities, like a dozen eggs or a box of crackers for their families. One way to overcome this challenge is to advocate for fair wages by supporting policies and legislation that push for higher wages and better worker benefits. At that minimal level, making sure that people who are working hard, are contributing to the economy, have the benefit of a basic living wage. Also, don't forget to negotiate your own pay. I think many people forget that this is something they can do when you are entering a job, of course, but also if you are at an existing job. The fact that inflation is through the roof, the fact that there are so many changes that have happened in the economy with the cost of things can certainly give you some negotiating power. But more importantly, when you enter those discussions, it's important to know your worth. It's important to realize your value and what you bring to the table. If you can go out on the market and secure a new position earning more than what you earn now, that's a great starting point for someone who is bringing some value to their employer. Each of us brings unique skills, gifts, and value to our workplace, but those gifts are meaningless if we don't recognize them for ourselves. And because of this and who you are, uniquely you are powerful, not powerless. Workers and their unique gifts are literally the backbone of the economy. It's their consistent hard work that happens day after day, week after week, and month after month that puts money in the CEO and shareholder pockets. The more of us who realize our worth and demand fairness, not as a favor, but because we deserve it, the harder it will be to ignore us. We are all aware of the rise in automation. We see it advancing every day. One day you have a job, the next day you don't. Companies cut costs, jobs move overseas, and automation replaces positions once held by human beings. I was actually listening to another content creator the other day who actually inspired me to make this video because she said that she landed a wonderful opportunity that had a requirement for several years of experience, and excellent academic credentials were also required for the position. And she went on to explain how grateful she was to get the job opportunity to be laid off shortly after she started, because her employer wanted to save money and decided to move her position overseas. Many workers are aware of this type of occurrence and live with the stress of wondering if their job will still be here tomorrow. But there are things that each of us can do to help overcome this challenge. I consider it planning for the future and trying to make sure that you can make yourself future ready. And the way you would do that is by learning new skills, taking online courses, getting a new certification, learning skills that are transferable outside of the industry that you're even in, because industries do shift. So you have to stay ahead of technology, and taking advantage of free or online or low cost training is a great way to do that so that you are ready for these changes that are coming with the advancement of automation. Another tried and true practice is networking and staying connected with others, especially in your industry, but just in your profession in general. Networking can open doors, and the best time to actually look for an opportunity is not when you need an opportunity, it's before you need it. My personal opinion is that the workplace has not been the same since the pandemic. As an HR professional, an HR consultant, and also an employment lawyer, I have seen many things that are just out of the ordinary and have become the new norm. I see workers dealing with toxic workplaces and unfair treatment that can manifest as a rude boss, meaning one that is not breaking any laws, but they are just downright mean and miserable people. And on top of a bad boss, you have coworkers whispering behind your back, gossiping, and just creating an uncomfortable environment. And then maybe you're seeing someone who's being passed over for a promotion. It's not really understandable or explained as to why this is happening. There's just a lot going on, as I said, since that pandemic of 2020. I have not seen things return to the way they were prior to the pandemic. And most employees, most workers are suffering in silence because so many are afraid to speak up about these things, or even worse, they are experiencing discrimination, they have experienced unfair treatment, and we all deserve respect in the workplace, but for too many workers, that's never realized. If you are dealing with unfair treatment at work, the most important thing to find a resolution, the most important step you can take is to document, write down everything that you are experiencing. You need to familiarize yourself with your company's policies, and if it's necessary, speak to HR or seek legal advice. But ultimately, if the workplace is toxic beyond repair, start planning your exit. It's so important to know when it's time to give up, because you deserve better. You deserve to be respected, and you need to honor yourself with that rather than sitting there and tolerating the abuse. An employer where you put in long hours because you have a job that demands your time almost exclusively, or it can feel that way when you have to be always on, because you're in a work culture that requires that, makes it hard to spend time with family or take care of your health. And many people feel that pressure to be available 24/7, even on their personal time. So they miss important occasions with their children, and they neglect themselves, they neglect their families. If you find yourself in a situation like this, it's really important to set boundaries. Turn off work notifications after hours. Use your PTO. It's yours. Don't let it go unused. It's also important to build income streams that fit your life, whether it's passive income or a side hustle. Having extra revenue gives you the flexibility to step back in to that lifestyle of a 9 to 5 when needed. And there are countless resources available to help you to identify those new opportunities and begin building that flexible financial arrangement. These resources include going to your local library. There are books, there are audiobooks, there are magazines, there are things that you can check out. There are courses that they even have at libraries now. There are things online. Don't forget about your local community colleges and your local unemployment offices. These are places that are resources to you that can help you create new opportunities so that you can begin to build that financial flexibility. Despite these obstacles and so many more, workers keep showing up. They are on the job, getting it done, pushing through innovation, creation, and all of that is powerful. The challenges are real, but this is evidence of the worker's strength. And so you are not just an employee, you are more than just a worker. You are the backbone of this economy. Your work has value, your skills matter to this economy, and you deserve to be treated with fairness and respect. So take action, advocate for yourself, demand better wages, better benefits, better treatment, and know your worth. Because when more of us do that, change becomes impossible to ignore. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.